Alright, hello everybody, this is Mr. Cthulhu, and so as you may know, people like to make their own custom versions of Megalovania, and if you don't know, please get off of this video, because you will be thoroughly confused if you do not. And if you do know, well, then maybe you want to make your own. A lot of people have been wanting to make their own, and I did too, and I've been making them. And this is because I created a template, and as far as I know, there is no template on the internet anywhere to make your own Megalovania, only tutorials that make no sense and are hours long. So I made the world's first, to my knowledge, Megalovania template. And so this is it. So this is a software right here called LMMS Beatmaker, and it is a free music making software, and it's very powerful, similar to FL Studio. Not quite as powerful, but a difference of $200 is pretty good given how powerful it is. You can make some pretty good music with it. I've made most of my music on my music channel is made using LMMS, so yeah. And so if you do not understand how LMMS works, I highly suggest you check out a video or two on at least the basics of how it works, and once you know that, then come back to this video. So I'm assuming that you now either know how it works or you're too stubborn to go watch it, which, I mean, understandable. So what was I doing? Yes. So this is so in the description you'll find a file that you can download from MediaFire that is a project file. And project files, they're like audio files, but you can edit the individual instruments and what melodies they make without having to pick out the instruments and change their melodies every single time. And it's a pretty handy feature. So I've created this template, so let's go ahead and listen to it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but this is what it sounds like. It's not perfectly accurate, but it's pretty close, in my opinion. So there's that, yes. So on the left, you'll see these little rows, and these rows are labeled with words. And so here we have drums, so pretty obvious, these are the drums. So we can just listen to the drums. These are just the drums. Then we can listen to just the lead. I'm not sure if it's lead or lead. I'm just going to call it lead because that seems to make more sense to me. That happens sometimes. Hang on, there's this weird glitch that happens sometimes. I don't know why it's happening. I think I got it. There. So you can hear just the lead. Now you can hear just the bass because this is labeled bass, and it's bass, not bass, for those wondering. And then you can, lead 2 is more like, sorry, weird glitch. Then there's that, and then there's, of course, bass 2, which is just, you can't really hear it, and it doesn't sound very good by itself, but it's pretty helpful. So yes, so if you want to make your own melodies, which of course you do, then you can just simply go into here. So double click one of these little rectangles, and you'll be in here. I'm assuming you already know how to use the interface in this, so you can just get rid of this little section here and replace it with whatever melody you want. So let's make a short little melody. It's not going to be very wonderful. Let's see what it sounds like. Somebody's probably used a melody like exactly like that before, since it's so simple, but that's going to be a very simple melody that we're going to use. So already we have the same lead as Megalovania, just with that melody. So now I'm going to go ahead and use this, so I'm going to delete this part, then I'm going to copy and paste this over to here, and then actually doesn't sound that bad. I just made that up on the spot. So there's that, and then I'll get to that in a second. So right now, because these are in the same key, it works perfectly well. But let's say I put this instead of like this, I put it like this, which is 2 notes up from what it was. And this doesn't sound quite right. It sounds good, but not perfect. And so we can take the bass, select the whole thing, and we can move it up the same 2 notes. And now it's going to sound better, because it matches the key. But just for example purposes, I'm going to keep it at the key of D, which is the standard key of Megalovania. So this bass pattern, I usually don't change it. You can if you want to, but it's pretty simple. So now I'm going to copy and paste this over to here. Then I'm going to copy this lead into the second lead, so that the way these are playing together, and we get this nice sound. It's not wonderful, and it sounds at least mediocre. Then there's this part, which is labeled square lead, because a square, to put it simply, it's just a waveform that's just beepy, in other words. So let's get rid of this and make our own lead again. I'm sorry, lead. Let's make our own melody. So it's going to be very simple, just laying out random notes here. So let's see what this sounds like. I bet that's a thing. So then we're going to copy and paste this over to here. So now we have this wonderful sound. And so then there's that. Now, to make the second part more intense, where this part comes again, where normally go like we're gonna change that to be, we're still gonna be the same melody, but similar to how the original one gets more intense in that second part. Then we're going to just copy it and, sorry, I did that wrong. Let me move that over one. Now we have this. So then there's that, but we don't want these, do we? We don't want these. We want our lead. So I'm going to copy this, copy these. I'm going to copy this, or half of it, and put it into here. So now, similar to the original Megalovania. So now we have this called a brass lead, and the brass is just, horns. So again, this is just, like that. So let's make our own melody here. How about we make something like, this is going to sound terrible. Okay, that sounds terrible, but you get the idea. You would put your own melody there that actually sounded reasonable. And then, so you can copy this over. And so now, I believe, yes, so we're going to do what we did with the other one. Like with the beepy lead lead, the square lead, that one, like, this one that goes like, the second part of it, where it goes like like that, and we're gonna put that there so that it makes it more intense. I did it again. There we go. So now, I'm also going to take this and copy the whole thing over to here. And with this part with the lead, you can adjust the volumes here, as you can see. But sometimes you want to adjust it in there and here like this. So there's this little option that says note velocity, and note velocity is its volume. But sometimes you don't want. Sometimes you want different sections to be different volumes, and you don't want to manually edit those. So you can just change the note velocity in certain sections, which is what I've done here. So now we have this part, and with our own very bad, but at least it's custom melody. And then it repeats that again, which is what we want. And then here I have two options laid out for anybody that wants it. And with this you can change this, it's the bass, it goes like and so this part doesn't sound quite like the Megalovania, the original Megalovania. In my opinion, it sounds better. And so I have laid out two versions for you. So this little thing right here, this little green light, this indicates whether that thing is playing or not. So I have the short option, which sounds like this, and then I have the long option, which sounds like this. This is more like the original Megalovania, but in my opinion, it doesn't sound as good. So you can just enable or disable either of those as you want, or you can have both, but that just sounds weird. I prefer the short one. And so, as before, we're not going to want that. We need this instead of. So then we take this right here. So now we can change this little part that goes like. So let's change that to, I don't know, because I'm not very creative, we'll change it to the melody of chord. So so a very dumb, simple version of the melody of chord. So if you turn it up, you can't hear it. See there, it's not terrible. And so then here you have this. That's what this part is here. So you can just go like. Do what I do. And just make some lazy, dumb melody. I usually, put more effort into this, but this is an example. So now we'll copy those again, just like last time. And then we have this nice little melody here. So then we have, and this part, you can definitely edit this and go like, and change the order in which it goes in the notes. But oftentimes, what I like to do is, to make it better, I just turn down the volume of this a little bit. Then I add another one of these, which is essentially what plays that sound. And so I have this now. And so I'll take a new melody and put it in there. So, or an old melody that's used before in the song. So let's just use a new melody for this. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. You can't really hear it. Here. You can sort of hear it if you listen closely. But anyway, you guys get the idea, hopefully. So, essentially, yeah, there you go. That is, to my knowledge, the world's first Megalovania template. And I'm sorry if this video wasn't explained very well. I am, in fact, 12 years old, and am therefore not the best at explaining things. But I'd say I could have done worse. So, again, you can download LMMS and the file that I have here with the links in the description. I also have files for Nyahaha and Bone Trelzel, and you edit them the same way I showed in this video. And so I'll put those in there too. So, in the meantime, thank you for watching, and, yes, credit to those in the description for the MIDI files and sound fonts.